Topping today's news, the little boy who drowned at the golf course identified. The government signs an agreement with the newest union of teachers. An update on the relief for bus drivers. The latest on the sale of the Grand Lucayan, and the Bahamas wins its first medal in the men's long jump at the Commonwealth Games. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. Thanks for joining us. Police today identifying the child that was found in a pond on the golf course in the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center on Tuesday, August 2nd, shortly after 5 p.m. After appealing to the public for help in this identification, the child has been identified as 11-year-old Gerardo Atwill Taylor of Amos Ferguson Street, Coconut Grove. The child was found in the waters at the rear of the Gulf Academy near the Yellow Elder area by a group of young boys who were swimming in that area at the time of the discovery. With the start of the new school year just days away, the new teachers union formed in Grand Bahama in May of 2021 is making great headway. After 4 months of negotiations, the Bahamas Teachers, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union, or the BTCW, signed their first memorandum of understanding with the Office of the Prime Minister, according to Bahamas Trade Congress Union BTUC President Obi Ferguson. Today's proceedings is historical.
This is the most historic event in the labor movement for very, very, very long time. And I say that because on April 1st, the government of the Bahamas, Prime Minister, Minister of Education, and all of our supporting group, the president of this great union, accepted recognition. He became the bargaining agent on the 1st of April 2022. And today now I think is the 5th. I believe it's the 5th. So less than, I say 4 months. 4 months. Normally take the labor movement 2 and 3 and 4 years to complete an industrial agreement. This government, this Minister of Education, this president, along with her executives, put heads together with the consultants, Mr. Turnquist and others, and Mr. Evans. They got together and they got an agreement finished in 12 months.
President of the BTCAWU, Sandra Major, expressed that as stakeholders in the educational system, they are grateful to the government and the partnership formed, which allowed them to be able to sign an agreement, which she describes as the first of many.
We received from them, of course, an increase in salary. We got an increment, and this is the largest we've ever received over a 3-year period, and I was teaching for over 40 years. And I have never received this great an increase in my salary in 3 years. We also received the retention bonus, and trust me, I'm going to be writing for mine soon, okay, Minister? So the retention bonus as well, we've accepted. We also got an increase in our allowances. We got an increase in our rental assistance. We got our insurance agent which gave us a greater benefit to us. So we are most grateful this morning to say that on behalf of this great union, that the government of the Bahamas has worked very well with us. And we recognize that in order to achieve anything, you must be willing to work together.
The incremental salary increases will take place in 5 phases over the next 3 years. Minister of Education and Vocational Training, Glenys Hannah Martin, thanked the union for their expeditious cooperation, and she broke down some of the details of the agreements in the MOU.
The financial compensation includes increases in the allowances, retention bonuses. The agreement also deals with a range of issues, including increases in the rents for teachers who are moved throughout the country. It deals with the career path for teachers. It speaks about enhanced conditions. It gives clarity in the relations between the teachers and the employer. It provides for the exploration of a teacher's commission to see whether that will be the correct process to expedite issues, HR issues that deal with teachers, to avoid the continuing frustration that the current system allows for.
With the current agreement, it states that teachers must attend PTA meetings after school hours, Hannah Martin says. She says that it is a matter of the language which they all use to create the central component and agreed positions that is more desirable in terms of cooperating and forming solutions going forward. Clint Watson, press secretary to the Office of the Prime Minister on Thursday, spoke on initiatives to restructure the current health care facilities in the country. His comments follow former Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands' criticism on the Grand Bahama health institutions, as well as his statements that the country is in a health crisis. The press secretary says the Davis administration met the health facilities broken, and they are working to fix them with a systematic plan.
Dr. Darwell has been very clear that he is looking to provide new facilities and expanded facilities at Princess Margaret Hospital. That's no secret. We already know of talks of getting the Ryan Memorial up and going, a new facility for that. Princess Margaret Hospital follows shortly behind that. This administration came to office understanding the critical state of the Princess Margaret Hospital, and it's not going to be ignored. It's being systematically looked at. Quotes are being investigated. Plans are being put on the drawing board to expand the capacity.
He says that while the government is tackling the issue of an insufficient number of beds, they are also working on preventative measures.
I want to say most importantly about the expansion capacity is while that's happening, there's also a program going in place to systematically try and help our people so they don't need beds in the hospital. And that it's a wellness program. To ensure that our people will not need to have to stay in the hospital. So there's two fronts that we're tackling this on: preventative and also being able to put in place, being able to care for our people should they have a need.
Mr. Watson says the public can expect the Health and Wellness Minister to speak more to the plans that are underway at the end of the month, as he will be making what Mr. Watson says are important announcements. Also out of Grand Bahama, on Thursday, the Board of Directors of Lucayan Renewal Holdings Limited advised that the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort on Grand Bahama is steadily progressing and on track for completion. The press statement released by Julian Russell, chairman of the Lucayan Renewal Holdings Limited, said the parties have agreed to a 45-day extension to complete the requisite legal documentation. He said at this time they anticipate no other material changes, and it is still anticipated that renovations will begin in January of 2023, as originally announced. He said Lucayan Renewals Holding and Electro Americas Hospitality Group remain committed to the revitalization of the tourism industry on Grand Bahama. Meanwhile, Russ Urban, CEO of Electro America Hospitality Group, emphatically stated that they are excited about Grand Bahama as they move forward with closing this deal. He wanted to reassure the people of Grand Bahama on their commitment to the development of a world-class resort and collaborating on community development initiatives. After months of negotiations with the Unified Bus Drivers Union, Minister of Transport and Housing Jobeth Kobe Davis says bus drivers should be receiving their relief packages very soon.
So the meeting with the bus drivers went really well. We also had a meeting with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Economic Affairs, Minister Halkitis, and we're presently working on a package. The first package is a temporary relief package that we're working on, and we're hoping that one is sorted this week, is what Minister Halkitis promised me, and that one I think would be assistance through vouchers for gas, and then we'll still consider the fare increase, but it wouldn't come until probably the new year.
This is on the heels of ground transportation operators threatening a strike, wanting an increase in bus fares after feeling the pressure of inflation and the pinch in their pockets because of the spike in fuel prices. As for the value of the vouchers the bus drivers will receive, Minister Kobe Davis says her ministry was only responsible for making the necessary recommendations.
We haven't decided yet. I'm waiting for Minister Halkitis. That's not my portfolio. So all I is giving the recommendations and waiting for the minister to get back to me in terms of cost, how often.
Police have a man in their custody believed to be the suspect in connection with a stabbing incident which occurred Wednesday around 9 a.m. on East Street. According to reports, the male victim was at an eatery when he observed the suspect harassing the owner of the establishment and advised her to contact the police. The victim was then attacked and stabbed multiple times by the suspect when he attempted to leave the area. The victim was transported to hospital via private vehicle where he was treated and discharged. Police are appealing to members of the public, particularly young men, to find more peaceful ways to resolve your disputes. Meanwhile, a firearm and ammunition are in police possession after officers in the Northeastern Division, acting on intelligence, conducted a search of an abandoned building at Guanahani Circle, finding a handgun. No arrests have been made in connection with this matter as police continue their investigation there. Police are searching for a male suspect believed to be responsible for an armed robbery of a vehicle and a mobile phone. According to reports, on Wednesday, shortly after 10 p.m., a male and a female were outside a residence on Haven Road in an Aqua Nissan Note when they were approached by a male dressed in all black and a bucket hat armed with a handgun who actually entered their vehicle. The suspect robbed the pair of a phone and the Nissan Note, making good his escape. Police are appealing to members of the public to be more alert and aware of your surroundings. Investigations into this matter continue as well. We'll take a break here, and we'll be right back after these commercials.